Hello guys! Welcome to Becoming Canadian. Ngayon, meron na naman tayong special topic para sa inyong lahat. Para na naman sa pag-a-apply nyo dito sa Canada. So, for those who haven't watched my video yet or first time na makapanood sa aking video, just hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell para patuloy kayong man-notify ni YouTube ng mga bago kong videos na magagamit nyo sa pag-a-apply nyo dito sa Canada. Ngayon, ang topic natin ay kung paano mag-apply sa home childcare provider at sa home support worker pilot ng Canada Immigration through do-it-yourself. Meaning, kayo ang gagawa na application nyo, kayo ang magbabayad, kayo ang magme-mail sa Canada Immigration. Alam nyo, ang pagdo-do-it-yourself, madali lang pero may mga disadvantage din dahil yung iba hindi maalam sa computer at nagkakaroon ng problema sa application. Pag nagkamali kayo sa application nyo o may miss lang kayong details or information, ito ay ibabalik sa inyo ng Canada Immigration. Ang pagdo-do-it-yourself ay depende na lang sa inyo. Yung iba kumukuha ng immigration consultant dahil may advantages din ang pagkuha ng immigration consultant. Nami-minimize nila ang risk ng errors at mistakes kasi nga alam nila ang procedure at process with regards to Canada immigration. So what I mean, alam nila ang mga possible na delay ng application. Kaya ang pagdo-do-it-yourself, kailangan maingat talaga kayo. So bago kayo mag-start mag-do-it-yourself, kailangan meron kayong computer or laptop at meron din kayong printer or scanner. Kasi meron kayong ipiprint dito katulad ng resibo na babayaran nyo sa Canada Immigration. At yung mga documents na na-scan nyo, ay kailangan nyong i-print. So, ang home child care at ang home support worker ay walang online application. So, paper lang siya. So, for example, ito ang application nyo. Ilalagay nyo lang yung buong application package sa isang envelope na isasabit nyo sa Canada Immigration. So, nasa sa inyo yan after nyong mapanood tong video na to, kung makapag-decide kayo na mag-do-it-yourself o kumuha kayo ng immigration consultant o authorized representative na gagawa ng mga papeles nyo. So, ang pagdo-do-it-yourself ay kailangan ang maingat at detalyadong pag-fill up ng form at ganun din ang mga information nyo. Kailangan basahin nyo maigi yung mga notes sa form para malaman nyo kung paano ang pag-fill up ng form. Ipapakita ko sa inyo maya-maya ang mga forms na dapat nyong fill upan sa pilot na to. Bago nyo fill upan ng mga forms na to, kailangan nyo munang kumuha ng job offer sa employer. Papakita ko rin sa inyo mamaya kung anong form ang ibibigay nyo sa employer. So, panoorin nyo hanggang sa huli itong video na to dahil ito ay napaka-importante at ito ay ang step-by-step process ng pagdo-do-it-yourself ng home child care at home support worker pilot program ng Canada Immigration. So if ever mag-decide kayo na kayo ang gumawa ng application nyo, dapat lang na lahat ng question ay masagot nyo at kung hindi naman applicable sa inyo, ilagay nyo lang ang NA which is not applicable. At kung meron namang information na date ang hinihingi, dapat i-click nyo na lang yung calendar na nandoon sa form para siguradong hindi kayo magkaroon ng mistakes. Tapos lahat ng portion na dapat nyong pirmahan, dapat mapirmahan nyo at mailagay nyo rin ng date kung kailan nyo napirmahan. At tulad na sabi ko sa inyo, very particular at specific ang Canada Immigration with regards to forms. At kung meron ka lang magkamali ng konti, ibabalik nila sa iyo ang form. Dapat lahat ng blank, i-check nyo maigi. Ngayon, kung makapag-decide naman kayo na mag-immigration consultant, of course, malaki ang bayad sa immigration consultant. Kaya guys, it's up to you kung mag-decide kayong mag-do it yourself. So magte-take kayo ng risk, pero dapat maging maingat kayo sa paggawa ng application para sa Canada Immigration. Nandito tayo sa Google, type nyo lang sa browser nyo ang canada.ca. So, i-click nyo ang English. So, ito ang official website ng Government of Canada. Makikita nyo sa baba ang Immigration and Citizenship. I-click yan. So, dito lahat ang services. Kung mag-visit ka lang, mag-work ka temporarily, study, immigrate, mag-apply na citizenship. So, lahat nandito. So, dito tayo sa immigrate. Makita nyo dyan ang lahat ng pathway papuntang Canada. So, punta tayo sa caregivers dahil yung pathway na yon ang topic natin ngayon. Makikita nyo ang lahat ng pathway ng caregiver, pero kung babasahin nyo dito, itong live-in caregiver pababa ay close na. Kaya tinan nyo naka-highlight itong dalawa. Ang home child care provider, pag kinlik nyo yan, either of the two, mareredirect kayo dito. Home child care provider pilot and home support worker pilot. So everything about this new pilot ay nandyan. So, ang qualifying work experience ay 24 months experience sa Canada. Nakalagay, foster parent doesn't count. Experience as housekeeper doesn't count. So, doon sa mga housekeeper na nagbabalak mag-apply dito, yung experience nyo as housekeeper ay hindi eligible sa pilot na to. So, sa qualifying work experience, hinati nila to sa tatlo para sa procedure ng pag-a-apply. Ang una, you don't have any qualifying work experience. Ibig sabihin nun, hindi kayo nakapagtrabaho ng full-time as caregiver sa Canada. Next is, you have some qualifying work experience but less than 24 months. Ibig sabihin, nakapag-work kayo as full-time caregiver sa Canada right now, o nakapag-work kayo sa Canada noon, but you don't have 24 months of experience. Hindi nyo natapos yung 24 months. You have 24 or more months of qualifying work experience. So, ibig sabihin, in the last 3 years nyo dito sa Canada, nakapag-work kayo as full-time caregiver for a total of 24 months or more. So, since wala pa kayong experience at nasa labas kayo ng Canada, ito kasing dalawa na to, ito ay inside Canada. So, dito kayo, yan, nakalagay nga dyan, tell us how much work experience you have to find out to how to apply. So, i-click nyo tong you don't have any qualifying work experience. So, pag kinlik nyo yan, lalabas na ang buong process. So guys, take note, pag gumagawa kayo ng do-it-yourself, itong portion na to sa website, yan ang mga steps ng pag-a-apply nyo. So number 1, about the process. Next is who can apply, kung sinong pwedeng mag-apply. Nakalagay dyan, take a language test, get your education assessed, i-follow nyo lang yan, nakalagay naman ang number. Tapos how to apply, and after you apply, kung anong dapat nyong gawin, tapos, get your work experience, that is, kapag meron na kayong work permit, kukunin nyo na yung 2 years experience nyo dito, at mag-a-apply na kayo ng permanent residence kapag nakumpleto nyo na yung 24 months of qualifying experience. So, kung gusto nyo mag-browse, malaman nyo yung about sa process, pwede kayong mag-browse dyan. Pero since ituturo ko na sa inyo on how to apply, dahil sinabi ko na nga sa inyo, mag-take kayo ng language test, ng ECA, at dito na tayo sa how to apply. Click ko na tong how to apply. Pag nag-scroll down kayo, yan, makita nyo information, yung home child care, sarado na, January 2022 na ang bukas. Pero ang home support worker, which is caregiver for elders and adults and disabled. Bukas pa siya. So sa baba, makikita nyo how to apply. So kailangan yung sagutin ito bago nila mabigay sa inyo yung mga forms na dapat nyo i-fill up. Tell us where you're applying from to find out how to apply. So, where are you applying from? Click nyo outside Canada. Now, follow the steps to apply through the home child care and home support worker. So, get a valid job offer. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kaya hahanap ko kayo sa Canadian Nanny at sa iba pang website. So, kapag meron na kayong employer na nakuha, yung employer na yon, the person who wants to hire you needs to give you the completed offer of employment for you to sign and include in your application. So, what you need to do, i-click nyo to dahil ito yung form na ibibigay nyo sa employer. So, ito ang itsura ng form, nakalagay. Offer of employment, home child care provider, and home support pilot. So, ang mangyayari dito, pag iprint nyo to, ibibigay nyo sa employer, fill upan niya ng employer, nandyan lahat, may mga question dyan. Kiklik kung ano ang, kung child care or support worker, tapos employer information. Dito naman ay ang information nyo, lahat about you. Tapos may question dito kung makita nyo, are your family members accompanying you in Canada? So kung yung bang asawa nyo at anak nyo ay isasama nyo, take note, kapag inansweran nyo to ng no dahil sa isip nyo ay hindi ko pa naman sila isasama dahil walang pera, pag na-answer nyo na to ng no, hindi nyo na sila makukuha. Hindi nyo na sila makukuha next time. Basta kung ano nang in-answer nyo dito sa initial application, yun na yun. Kaya mag-decide na kayo kung isasama nyo o kukunin nyo ang asawa at anak nyo. Are your family members accompanying you in Canada? Click yes or no. Guys, yun yung offer of employment na ibibigay nyo sa employer. Ang step 2, get the instruction guide. If you're applying from outside Canada, instruction guide for applicants outside Canada to get the forms, i-click nyo yan. So kapag kinlik nyo yan, ito na ang pinaka-guide. Nandiyan yung before you apply, make sure you are eligible. Kasi para hindi masayang yung effort nyo at yung ibabayad nyo. Gather your documents, tulad yan ng lagi kong sinasabi sa inyo, na i-gather nyo na yung documents nyo sa isang folder. I-fill nyo yung forms. Pag kinlik nyo yung forms, nandyan lahat ng forms na dapat nyo i-fill up. Tapos nyo mag-fill up, magbabayad kayo ng fees, step number 4. And step number 5, submit application. At kung hihingan kayo ng picture o ng photo, andyan ang photo specifications, nandyan din ang ECA report, assessment outcomes, at ito ay pag yung nandito na kayo at gusto nyong i-retain yung status nyo kapag nag-expire na o mag-expire na ang work permit nyo. So, eligible ka, nag-gather mo na ang documents, mag-fill up na tayo ng forms. So, i-click natin ang fill in the forms. So, guys, ito ang lahat ng form na kakailanganin nyo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 ang kailangan nilang form. Pero may form dyan na possible na hindi applicable sa inyo. So itong form na to, itong sinasubmit natin sa Canada Immigration or Canadian Embassy na kung saan kayo country malapit. So number 1 is document checklist. Kailangan nyo ng desktop computer na merong Acrobat Reader para ma-open nyo ang mga forms ng Canada Immigration. Hindi nyo to pwedeng gawin sa cellphone o sa tablet. Dapat sa laptop or sa desktop computer dahil ipiprint nyo to. Ito ang unang form, ang document checklist. Ang document checklist ay ang dapat nyong unang titingnan para malaman nyo ang mga documents na kailangan nyong isama sa envelope na ipapadala nyo sa Canada Immigration. Nakalagay dito, important notice. Answer all questions and sign all forms where applicable. Very particular sila dyan. Ito, document checklist. Mamaya pupunta tayo dito sa general application form, additional dependent application form, i-click nyo yan. Kasama rin to, ipiprint nyo to kasama ng sa application nyo. So after makomplete ang document checklist, i-print nyo. Punta muna tayo sa general application form ng Canada. I-open nyo lang yan. So as usual, itong general application form ay pwede nyong fill upan ang form dito at tsaka just make sure guys, ito ay isa lang tip sa inyo. Kapag natapos nyo ng fill upan ang form na ito, need nyong i-validate ang form kasi pag binalidate nyo ang form, lalabas doon kung meron kayong na-miss na question o may na-miss kayong number na dapat nyong kumpletuhin. Very particular ang Canada Immigration. If you miss something, they will return back the whole application package, which will cause delay of the processing of your application. So don't forget to validate after mapilapan niyo lahat ng form. So, nandiyan application details, program under which you're applying. Very important to, nasa una siya. So, ang home care caregiver ay nasa economic program. Category under which you're applying. So, kita nyo, click nyo lang yan. Home child care pilot or home support worker pilot. Magkiklik lang kayo dyan. Tapos, nandiyan na. Self-explanatory na lang yung ibang question. Yan, pag na-fill upan nyo na yung form na yan, lahat yan, you should be careful in filling up the form. Lahat ay napirmahan nyo yung mga area na kailangan na signature. And then, click validate. Pag kinlik ko itong validate ngayon, hindi ko siya pwedeng ma-print kasi ang dami ko pang bakanting area rito na hindi nasagutan. Ayan, you see? That's why it's important na i-click nyo yung validate para malaman nyo kung ano pa yung mga hindi nyo nasagutan. Tapos noon, ang next ay application for work permit. Diba, ang home child care and home support worker, may kasama siyang work permit kasi 2 years muna kayong mag-work ng under work permit bago kayo maging permanent resident. So, i-click nyo yan at i-open nyo. So, Acrobat Reader lang ang pwedeng maka-open ng mga government forms ng Canada Immigration. Ito, application for work permit outside Canada. Same thing, validate there after you fill up all the form. So after application for work permit, additional dependence declaration, i-open naman natin yan. So ito naman yung related para sa family mo na isasama mo rito. Bawat isa, gagawa mo na ang ganito. Kung 3 anak mo, di 3 ganito. Ang next form, background declaration. So, kung ikaw yung principal applicant, check nyo principal applicant dyan. Kung ikaw naman yung asawa lang ng applicant, ito, the spouse, common law partner, or dependent child, age 18 years or older, of the principal applicant. So, ang mga isasama mong anak mo at asawa mo, kailangan bawat isa magkaroon ng background declaration. So, kung 3 anak mo plus asawa mo, 4 na ganitong form ang fill upan mo. Next, ang home child care provider, home support worker, education and language assessment. So, i-open natin yung form na yan. Nakalagay dyan, which will be your first official language, English or French, provide original language test result for speaking, listening, basta about the language, nandyan lahat ang mga information na kailangan nila. Next, ang offer of employment form, which is napakita ko na sa inyo kanina, na ibibigay nyo sa employer. The next form is additional family information. Same thing, itong form na to, yung asawang isasama nyo, mga anak na isasama nyo, 18 years old pataas, kailangan mag-accomplish ng form na to. And the last form is the supplementary information, your travels. So, travel history form ito. Yan. May example. List all your trips, if applicable, your family members have taken outside your country of origin. Kung nakapag-travel kayo outside the Philippines, nandito lahat ang travel nyo. Kung halimbawa, nagpunta kayo sa Hong Kong, nagpunta kayo sa China, o sa US, basta outside of the Philippines, dito nyo ililist lahat. So guys, after nyong ma-fill up lahat ng forms na sinabi ko sa inyo, kailangan nyong magbayad ng fee sa Canada Immigration. So i-click nyo yung step number 4, pay the fees. So ito ang mga fees na dapat nyong bayaran sa Canada Immigration. So how to calculate your fee? Nakalagay dito, use the tables to calculate the amount of fees to be paid. The processing fee must be included with your application. What does it mean? Bayaran nyo to, yung receipt na ma-generate sa computer, ipiprint nyo yon at isasama nyo doon kasama ng mga application form. Take note, you will need to pay all the temporary resident fee, which in your case is the work permit, separately from the permanent resident fee. So, ang bayad nyo ay dapat 2 resibo. Hindi nyo pwedeng pagsamahin kasi mas mauuna kayong magkaroon ng work permit bago kayo maging permanent resident. You must include both fee receipts with your application. So, hindi pwedeng hiwalay. Kung hindi, ibabalik sa inyo ang buong application package. We recommend you pay the right of permanent resident fee now to avoid delays. You will have to pay it before you become a permanent resident. So, meron kayong option na hindi nyo muna bayaran tong right of permanent resident fee. Pero, inire-recommend nga nila na bayaran nyo na. Kasi ang right of permanent resident fee, kapag hiningan na kayo niya ng bayad na yan, ibig sabihin, approved na yung permanent resident application nyo at kailangan nyo magbayad nitong 500. Pero, nire-recommend nga nila na bayaran na para ma-avoid ang delay. Kung hindi naman ma-approve ang permanent resident nyo, ibabalik naman yan ng Canada Immigration, yung 500. So, ito ang una, your permanent resident fee as principal applicant, 1,050, sa iyo pa lang yan as principal applicant. Kasama na doon yung 550 processing fee and right of permanent residence fee of 500. Again, you have the option not to pay the 500 right of permanent residence fee, but later on, pag na-approve kayo, madedelay dahil hindi pa kayo bayad. So ito, kung without right of permanent residence fee, 550 lang babayaran nyo. Canadian dollars. Your family member's permanent residence fee per person. So, ang bawat family member nyo may bayad. So, ang spouse or partner sa application nyo, kasama ang right of permanent residence fee, is 1,050 Canadian dollars, same as your fee. Kung wala namang right of permanent residence, 550 rin ang babayaran ng asawa nyo. Kung isasama nyo ang dependent child nyo sa application nyo, dependent child is 22 years old pababa, 150 Canadian dollars per child. So, kung 2 anak nyo, $300 sa kanilang 2. So, yung children, wala siyang right of permanent residence fee. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng example. Mag-asawa kayo na may 2 anak. So, ang babayaran nyo, 1,050 plus 1,050 plus 300 sa dalawang bata. So, ang babayaran nyo ay $2,400. Yan ang total na babayaran nyo mag-asawa na may dalawang anak na 22 years old pababa. Nakalagay dito, the following persons are exempt from paying the right of permanent residence fee of 500. Independent children nyo, you, if you are the principal applicant and the dependent child of a permanent resident or Canadian citizen. You must meet the definition of a dependent child at the time of application. You and your family member if you are a protected person. Pero hindi naman tayo protected person kaya hindi tayo exempted. So your work permit fee is $155 and open work permit holder fee of $100, so it's $255. Dahil ang hawak nyo as home child care and home support worker ay open work permit, so ang babayaran nyo ay $255. So your family members work or study permit per person is the same if you apply for your spouse, $255, at kung may working child ka, $255 din. So, ang biometric fee, babayaran nyo na rin to, pero kapag Canada Immigration will give you instruction on when and where you are going to pay, you are going to do your biometrics. So, per person, $85. Kung family kayo, 2 or more people, 170 lang ang babayaran nyo. So, sa example natin na 4 in a family, 170 lang kayong lahat. So, how to pay for your application? All the payment will be online. To pay your fees for your application, ito ang kailangan nyo. A valid email address, access to a printer, kasi need nyo i-print yung receipt. Take note, kasama to sa application package nyo. And a credit card or Canadian debit card. So, I'm sure wala naman kayong Canadian debit card. So, ang accepted lang ay ang credit card kung nasa Philippines kayo. So, sabi dito, i-visit nyo lang yung link para sa instruction to pay. And then, there's another note here. You will have to pay your permanent residence fee separate from your temporary residence. So, yung mga work permit, separate na babayaran. So, kung magbabayad kayo, 2 beses kayo magbabayad for work permits and for permanent residence fee. Malinaw yan, hindi pwedeng sabay. O hindi pwedeng magkasama yung bayad nyo. Separate din. Kung magbabayad kayo sa permanent residence para sa caregiver and biometrics, dito kayo sa online payment caregivers. Kung magbabayad kayo ng work permit, dito kayo sa online payment temporary residence. And in bold letter, there is note, click on the button to print the immigration official receipt with barcode. Print 2 copies. So, yung isa niyan, para sa inyo, yung isa niyan, sasama nyo sa application. So, guys, you just have to be very careful yung sa mga note nila. Ayan, naka-bold letters naman. Attach a copy of both receipts, permanent residence and temporary residence to your completed application. Keep the second copy of both receipts for your records. Do not exit without printing the receipt. The printed receipt is your proof of payment. Incorrect fee payment, mali ang pagbabayad nyo, may delay processing. Payment issue, no fee included, we will return your application. We will start processing your application after you return your application with the fee. Kaya dapat magkakasama siya sa isang application package. Not enough fee included, i-return din nila application until you pay the correct and exact amount of fee. Sumobra ang bayad nyo, overpayment. They will start processing your application and they're going to send you a refund. You do not have to ask for a refund. It will be done automatically. But guys, ang refund ng Canada immigration sometimes, it will take 2 months bago nyo ma-receive. That's why make sure you pay the exact amount of fee. If yung biometric fee, hindi nyo pa binayaran, not included, no problem. We will tell you the fee amount and how to pay it. We will continue processing your application after you send the missing fee. So after you pay the fees, step number 5, submit the application. I-click nyo yan. So guys, ito ang magiging itsura ng envelope nyo. If you are applying under the home child care, your name dito, address, postal code, Case Processing Center in Edmonton. Yan ang address. Yan din ang isusulat nyo. Tapos, attach postage stamp. So, kung home support worker naman ang ina-applyan nyo, name, address, your postal code, Case Processing in Edmonton, HSW Stage 1, Case Processing in Edmonton, Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada. So, ito magiging itsura ng envelope nyo. Take note guys ha, magkaiba ang sa home child care, yung papadala ng application, at sa home support worker, iba rin. So, send the document checklist, yung first na pinag-checkan natin, and include it in your application. I hope na naintindihan nyo at malinaw yung naging topic natin ngayon regarding sa do-it-yourself ng home child care at home support worker application. As usual, kung may comments kayo, just comment down below or i-message nyo na lang ako para ma-assist ko kayo. Before I end this video, I want to do a shout out to everyone sa lahat ng followers ko at subscribers ko na laging nanonood ng video ko. Lalong-lalo na doon sa mga kababayan natin sa Saudi Arabia, sa Kuwait, sa Taiwan, sa Macau, sa Jeddah, halos buong Middle East na yata. At meron din dyan sa Europe, sa Italy. Kumusta sa inyo lahat? I hope you're staying safe. Sana ay maging successful yung paghanap nyo ng trabaho dito sa Canada. Especially to Rizalina Batukan from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Shout out to Buenafe Porol. Shout out to Marife Campitan from Macau. Shout out to Sabilita Bandol of Saudi Arabia. Shout out to Robelyn Gray of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. At shout out kay Emerald May. Kumusta kayo lahat dyan? At salamat sa panonood sa Becoming Canadian. Okay guys, thanks for watching this video, and for those who haven't subscribed, subscribe na lang at pahit ng notification bell para lagi kayong ma-notify ng bago kong video. Again, thanks for watching and be safe guys. God bless to all of you. See you on my next vlog.